I'm Pariket Dhabuwala, and I came to New Zealand in 2012 to study postgraduate diploma in public health and at University of Auckland. Um, yeah, and now I'm working at Greenland Hospital, which is a public hospital here, in one of the admin roles. So my undergraduation was MBBS, and I did from my hometown Surat city in Gujarat. And straight after the course, like within 6 months, I applied for this post-graduation course in New Zealand. During my internship, I was searching out my options, and during internship, I decided that I want to go abroad. And after doing some bit of self-research, I decided to go to New Zealand. I just thought about my my future after doing post-graduation study, which in medical field in India, I didn't like the practice, and there were some other factors which attracted me to pursue course in abroad. Basically, I didn't want to stay in India and just wanted to see how the abroad life would be. To me, I started with US, like thought about US, then thought of Australia and Canada. But there were some issues as far as postgraduate study, as far as the medical registration is considered for international medical graduates. So for in those countries, medical registration was bit difficult, especially Canada and Australia. And USA I was bit skeptical because the visa at that time, the visa rejection ratio was very high. And New Zealand, what I found online was looking as pretty straightforward, and that's how I decided to come for New Zealand. But I didn't apply any other country. I straight away came to New Zealand only. Well, in New Zealand, you just need to give in those IELTS, or nowadays there is PTE, or I don't think TOEFL is must at any of the institutes. But in those 6 months, basically, I just finished those exams and then applied, prepared SOP, and applied for the in course. I got into a course and then put in visa, and I got visa, and um, that's all pretty much basic things I did. I didn't do any other specific things before coming New Zealand. First, I applied into Massey University, which I didn't get through. They rejected, and then there was a college where I think Wintech was the college where I was given a position for, and then I also applied at University of Auckland. So yeah, three institutes I applied for, and the University of Auckland again I got granted, and which I chose to finally come in. No, I went through the course first. I wanted to study something related to my field, and also I wanted to come on level 8 course only, so that my wife can join me as well on work visa. So I had very limited options, and level 8 courses actually only two universities were offering. Wintech one, it was level 7. That's why I didn't go there. So for me, it was pretty straightforward because I didn't have many options. Basically, level 7 is anything you study after your graduation. For example, you have done your BE mechanical engineering or whatever BSc, and then when you come here, there would be a course called level 7, which is diploma in something, and then level 8 is postgraduate diploma, and when you do masters or PhD, that would be considered as level 9 course. And it also decides how much point you are going to get when you apply for residency. On basis of your level of education, they give you the points. Well, yes, I applied through that education consultant. So my application was through an agent. But they pretty much helped us in admission process and visa process. Yeah, that's all. I think you can do at your own, but that would require lots of research and lots of time spending on Google and talking to people, and you may make a mistake. So I think I would advise it's okay to go through agent, because mostly their charges won't be that much, because they get the main chunk of money from the universities. So it's okay to go through them um, to make things easier, but you shouldn't be just completely blindly relying on them. You should do your own homework when you approach them. I think it's not very complicated. The thing they look for is you got a uh, genuine study reason to come. For example, like what you studied as undergraduate, and then what the course you are applying for, they should match, and the progression should show. For example, if you have studied PhD there and then you are saying I want to study diploma here, that doesn't make any sense. So they would suspect your genuinity, that this person doesn't want to come for study here, he has different intentions. So as long as you have your progression and the course it's matching, and you have sufficient funds to support yourself, and your finances are clear, uh, uh, yeah, and of course the background checks and police checks and everything, if it's clear, then I like New Zealand is very straightforward in terms of giving you visa. So that varies from person to person. Like I received an interview call, just a call, but some people don't get calls. So there is no particular pattern or fixed pattern I can see. And my interview was around 20-25 minutes over the phone. And what I could sense from the interview was they were just trying to assess whether I have studied medicine or not, because they asked me a couple of medicine questions as well. And some other, they ask about your intentions, what are your plans and stuff. New Zealand standard main are two intakes, February and July, and February is the biggest intake and a good intake to join in, because that's a summer here. July is the coldest month, so yeah, and there is a minor intake in September, but mostly July and February. I think we should start at least 6 to 7 months before. If you are intending for July, say for example July next year, you should start prepping or researching everything from September, October this year, so
Okay.
that you have enough time to do your research, then you have enough time to apply for universities and get their reply, and then you have still got plenty of time to put your visa application, you sort out your finance and everything, because finance, visa, everything takes some time. I would say student life is pretty good, and universities, like I studied in university, so I can only speak for university experience, which I can say universities spend a good amount of money on their students, and you do get very supportive environment in university. So the professors, and they are very approachable. They would help you with everything. You can ask them anything. They if you don't understand in class, you can ask them, and they would call you in their office and will give you personalized time and all those sort of things, and other resources as well at university. So that's very supportive. And of course the New Zealand lifestyle is very good, and depending on where you live, you would get to meet different students and different communities, and especially in Auckland, lots of activities are going on. So you can have yes, as a student, I think it's a good place to explore different things. Job prospects would depend on a couple of things. First, your stream. Like if you are in IT sector, so computer science, you would have better prospects. mechanical engineer, civil engineers, better prospects. But electrical and mechanical, I would say it would be a little bit hard uh, for you to secure a job because of limited job prospects. And another thing which would matter is how much experience you got back in India or wherever you are coming from. Because the way the way Indian students do, including myself, we finish our course, bachelor course, and we would straight away go for post graduation study, and then in hope that these 2 degrees will land me a job. But in New Zealand that doesn't happen. Your doesn't Even if you don't have a degree, but if you have good amount of years of experience, there is a better chance that you would get a job before someone has got uh, 2 or 3 degrees. So
Okay.
yeah, I have in my personal group, I have seen civil engineers getting a good job, mechanical engineers getting a job with bit of struggle. So you have to work hard to get a job. It's not just you will finish your education and you will apply and you will get your job. You need to do your networking, and you need to uh, keep applying everywhere. You need to do maybe unpaid volunteering, all sorts of things to land you a job. I think university universities courses are a bit expensive. They can cost you anywhere around between 15 to 20 lakhs Indian rupees. And college courses are cheap compared to university. That would again still cost you around between 10 lakhs, yeah, 8 to 10 lakhs. Living cost, New Zealand is one of the countries with high living cost because of a small size. So New Zealand has only got 4.5 million of population. So it is the living cost is a bit high, and you should. I think when I came, the government was asking for $15,000 per year as an expense for a student. But practically, you should consider at least 800 to $1,000 a month. Uh, Rent is high, and here we need to pay the weekly rent. So every week your rent would be around $150 New Zealand dollar to 170 New Zealand dollar. So I'll just give you in Indian rupees as well the amount. And food and everything is okay. It's not that expensive. I think rent is the main burden of your expenses. So you just need to yeah, be prepared for that. Of course, you can do part-time job and cover some of your expenses. Okay, so the weekly expense in Indian rupees would be somewhere around, sorry, rent would be somewhere around 7,000 to 8,000 rupees, and monthly expense would be somewhere around, it would be somewhere around, say, 37,000 to 40,000 rupees.
Okay.
That's monthly expense, including everything. Personally, I would say I have studied various things here apart from my course. I would say it's a very good education system and very practical education system, unlike India. In India, we focus too much on theory without thinking of how are we going to implicate them, how are we going to imply them in real life. And that's why we have seen like doctors, engineer with degrees, they don't know what they are doing. So here, and especially postgraduate study, don't expect that you will be spoon fed. It's more or less kind of a self study. So you would have lectures, a whole day lectures, maybe 4 to 5 times, 6 times a month, and the rest of the thing would be assignments and exams. And but don't think that okay, you only got 5 days a month of college, the remaining 25 days you would be just chilling or doing whatever you like. No, the way course would be designed, you would be spending a good amount of time at your home thinking about assignments and everything. And assignments and everything, they are really, they take they take you to thinking. You have to think, you need to research and everything, then only you will be able to do your assignments. And also to avoid the plagiarism, to prevent plagiarism, you need to upload your assignments on a software which would match your assignment with the database. So if you have copied from somewhere or from someone, they would match it with a very high matching percentage, and that can put you in trouble. So most of the students get during their uh, during their education months, they get 20 hours work permit. So if you got if you got 4 months of your one term, you can work 20 hours a week during those 4 months. And if there is a vacation going on, mid semester vacation or Christmas vacation, during those months you can work full time. You can do everything and anything. um, but let me tell you, like, part-time job, it's a bit difficult to find a part-time job because most employers prefer full-time employees. But it's not impossible. It may take you a month or so, or sometimes depending on your luck and your, yeah, very many other things. But yes, you can definitely find a part-time job, any job you prefer doing. So here now the minimum wage has gone up to somewhere around $16 per hour. So I I would say, if you work 20 hours a week, that would that's around $320. But of course there would be tax and other deductions. So I think you can earn up to $1,000 to $1,200 a month from your part-time job,
Right.
which is equivalent to your expense. So
Right.
if you are working 20 hours throughout a month, you can at least support yourself. I would say do your research, do your homework, and find out what you want to study. Don't just get into any course and then we'll figure it out. No, it doesn't work that way, because I have seen many people coming into business management course, but it's just a dead end. Like, if you get into those kind of courses, you would get into here very easily, very quickly, but then it's a very dark future for you, because when you apply for residency, they match what you have studied, what you are working, and everything. So get into a proper course and come with the intention, and then also plan yourself ahead. Said, after my course, what am I going to do? And also during your course, you need to build your network, and you need to start collecting your references and all those things. And try looking for online groups and all those sort of things. And if possible, get some experience, real experience, at least couple of years, 2 years experience before you come here. As far as New Zealand is concerned, if you are coming to Auckland, uh, you shouldn't worry, because I think in Auckland more than 100 and like there are more than 170 nationals living there in Auckland. So it's a very, very multicultural society. So people are now used to seeing other cultures, and Indian community in Auckland is a very major community with all kinds of celebrations and festivals going on. But yes, if you are going to other parts of New Zealand, uh, which is more, especially the South Highland, it's mostly white people dominated area. But I think still now people are used to seeing foreign people a lot compared to, say, 10 to 15 years before. So that shouldn't be an issue. Auckland is the biggest city. Then also Wellington, which is the capital of New Zealand, it's again a good city. Christchurch used to be a very popular destination, but because of earthquake now, it's less popular. But of course, you can consider Christchurch. Then also there is a small city called Nelson. It's, you can consider Nelson. Then near to Auckland is Hamilton. So it's only 1.5 hour drive. So there is, in Hamilton also there is a good university. So you can consider Hamilton as well, which is not very far from Auckland. Yeah, I think pretty much these are the major cities you can think of